open your eyes, there's nothing.
We're taking on too much water. We have to seal the bulkhead.
In absolute, thick darkness you can feel. The air is cold as steel. The deck is tilted at a 20-degree angle. Around you is the sound of leaking and the groaning of metal under the pressure of thousands of tons of water. You are alive. That is the miracle. An explosion or a fire has torn the ship apart. The nuclear reactor has scrammed. You and about 20 others have survived, trapped in an aft compartment. You are an engineer. You know what comes next. This is your 72-hour survival guide. But this isn't a guide. This is an analysis of failure. A mind hack look into why, in the 70-year history of nuclear submarines, when a tragedy occurs on the sea floor, almost no one survives. We will use the tragedies of the K-19 and the K-141 Kursk as our map to analyze the three wars you must fight. The war against physics, the war against chemistry, and the most brutal war of all, against the system. Your first enemy is physics. Your ship is a massive block of steel, and it is a perfect thermal conductor. The reactor is off, which means the heating is off. You are in a giant freezer, submerged in the 2°C water of the Arctic Ocean. Hypothermia won't kill you instantly. It will kill your reason first. It makes you numb, confused. You must fight it. Huddle everyone together. Body heat. Distribute the few dry blankets and clothes. Conserve all battery light. Panic burns calories, and calories are heat. You must be inhumanly calm. But physics has many faces. In 1961, on the K-19, the disaster wasn't cold, it was heat. When the primary reactor cooling system ruptured, the core temperature skyrocketed. It wasn't an explosion, it was a forge. To save the ship and prevent a nuclear catastrophe that could have sparked World War III, 8 sailors volunteered to enter that physical hell. They waded through irradiated water to weld a makeshift coolant pipe. They defeated physics, but physics killed them. All 8 died in agony from acute radiation sickness within weeks. You must understand, this ship was designed as a weapon, not a lifeboat. Everything around you is trying to kill you. You've survived 24 hours, but the next war is the real mind hack. Your second enemy is chemistry, the very air you are breathing. 23 people in a sealed space. You are burning a finite amount of oxygen. But oxygen depletion isn't what kills you. What kills you is what you exhale. CO2. Invisible. Odorless. As concentration rises to 3%, you begin to gasp, plagued by a splitting headache. 5%, you become confused. 8%, convulsions, unconsciousness, and death. You are poisoning yourself with your own breath. The CO2 scrubbers, they are your only hope. Lithium hydroxide plates designed to absorb the CO2. But this is where we look at the tragedy of the K-141 Kursk. In 2000, 23 sailors from the Kursk survived 2 massive explosions and were trapped, just like you. They had the CO2 scrubbers. They knew what to do. We know this because Lieutenant Dmitry Kolesnikov wrote it down. In the dark, he chronicled, "There are 23 people here. We won't last more than a day or 2. But chemistry is a double-edged sword. These scrubber plates, when they come into contact with water, especially oily water, create a violent exothermic reaction. To live, you must change the plates. But in the dark, in a flooded, oil-slicked compartment, changing them could trigger a fire. That is exactly what investigators believe happened on the Kursk. A final, desperate attempt to save their air is precisely what killed them. The fire consumed all remaining oxygen in seconds. You have survived 48 hours. You are now suffocating, and you realize your attempt to survive might be a trap. Your final enemy, the most terrifying, because you cannot fight it. It is the system. Make noise. Hope. You hope that your comrades on the surface heard the explosion, that they are looking for you, that they know you are alive. On the Kursk, they heard them. The SOS tapping of 23 men was recorded. They were alive, and the entire world knew it. And this is where your survival guide completely collapses. Because your life no longer depends on physics or chemistry. It depends on politics. In the 39 years between the K-19 and the Kursk, the technology changed, but the system did not. The system of the K-19 covered up the disaster. The 8 men who saved the world died in silence, blamed as human failures to hide a design failure. The system of the Kursk was more cruel. It exposed its own impotence. During your critical 72 hours, a debate is raging on the surface. National pride, fear of exposing military secrets. Russian rescue attempts fail, one after another. You are on the bottom, tapping on the hull, unaware that your survival is being decided in a press room. Your 72 hours are up. When Norwegian divers were finally allowed to open the hatch to compartment 9, it was day 8. They found 23 bodies, and the farewell note from Dmitry Kolesnikov. The final mind hack logic is this: you did everything right. You fought the cold. You tried to manage the air. You signaled for help. But you failed, because in a nuclear submarine disaster, the real enemy isn't the ocean, it isn't the fire, and it isn't the radiation. It is a system designed to protect the secrets of the ship, and not the lives of its crew.